So here we're looking at multimeters. These days you can pick ones up from online Chinese factory direct websites for a few pounds. I've looked this morning and I could get this delivered here for less than a fiver. And they're great. You don't need complicated ones to start with. And what we're doing on this board is we're trying to work out what the resistance is before we lift up the flap and cheat and see what the value is. Now, whenever we're doing resistance, start off with the largest scale, the biggest value. So this scale here is saying it goes up to 2000 K, so that's 2 megohms. And I'm going to put it across the resistor here, and it's saying a number of 121. So that's 121K. Now that value is less than our next scale, which has a maximum of 200K. So if I move it round to that one, we get a more accurate reading, and we basically keep going down until we've got a number which is bigger than the next scale. So that's saying it's 122,500 ohms. And if I lift up the flap, we can see that underneath there we've got a resistor that's 120K. Now all of these have a tolerance. I think because of the gold ring on the end, this is a 1%. Now you can see the rings on the resistor, and that is another way that we can tell what the value is. Here we've got a brown ring followed by a red ring followed by a yellow ring. The first two gives you the numbers. Brown is 1, red is 2. We can find a whole list online. And then the last ring is the number of noughts on the end, and yellow is 4, so that multiplies it by a number which has 4 zeros on it, 10,000. So that gives us 1, 2 followed by 4 noughts. So that's 120,000 ohms. So that's the first one. If you've got the board in front of you, stop the video now and you can go around and have a play on your own. And if you do all of these and still bored, you can actually do the ones that are across the top. If you're watching this without the board, you can follow me looking at the values of the other resistors. Right, so I'm going to unplug it and I'm going to go back to 2 meg and plug in the second one, and it's coming up an incredibly low number, or it's coming up of 5. So I move down and that says 4.7, so that is still less than 20. So I move it down to there and it's telling us that it thinks the resistor under there is 4.72 kilo ohms. And if I open it up, there we go, we've got a 4.7 kilo ohm resistor. The rings we've got is yellow 4, we came on at the last one, violet, which is the number 7, and we're multiplying it by 100 because we've got a red ring, and a red means 2. So that's the second one. So back up to our highest range, across to our next one, and we've got a very, very low number, so we move it down. Still a very low number, we move it down. Still a very low, oh, that says it's 0.54, and our next range is 2000 ohms. So we can move it down, and that's saying that we've got a resistor across here of 551 ohms. And if I lift it up, that's 560. So again, it's very, very close indeed. The first ring is green, which is 5. The second one is blue, which is 6, and then we're multiplying it by 10 because we've got brown, which is 1. Move it back to 2 meg, go on to the next one. Oh, no, cheating. Right, so we've got a number of 018, so we can move it down, and that's saying 17.9, and that's still less than 20, so we move down to there, and we've got 18.3 It's going up. It's what's happening is the current going through the resistor is warming it up, and that's changing the resistance a little bit. So 18.41, that's what it stopped on. If we lift it up, 18 there. So we've got a brown ring, a grey ring, which is the number 8, followed by an orange ring, which is 3. So we've got 3 noughts on the end. So it's 1, 8, followed by 3 noughts, 18K. Back up to 2 meg, put it in, and that says 335K, so that's higher than 200K, so we leave it there, and so it's saying this one is 335K, and if we lift it up, that's 330. Well, we've got an orange ring, a second orange ring, followed by a yellow, which is 4, so that's 4 zeros on the end, so that makes 330,000 ohms. Brilliant things, multimeters. Try and get hold of one if you can.